Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
At the age of 19, I felt that I was cheated for 19 years. I've been Muslim my whole life. How come I don't know anything about the Quran? How come my school didn't teach me? How come my parents didn't know anything? Why didn't my neighbors ever know? We are 1/5 of the world's population. Non-Muslims know more about the Quran than we do. How is that possible? How did I as a Muslim have the same opinion about the Quran as non-Muslims have? The non-Muslims say that it's harsh. The non-Muslims say that it's irrelevant. The non-Muslims are not impressed. How come I had the same opinion? Something has to change. We have to cultivate. We have to provide this knowledge now to people. How are we going to do that? How are we going to deliver this message for ourselves and for our children and their children? Allah says, Ud'u. Let's begin the ayah. Now we begin the ayah. Ud'u. Invite. What does ud'u mean? Tell me out loud. Invite. Good. Do you invite somebody you are angry with? Can you invite somebody to your house you're angry at them? Hey, come to my house for dinner. You don't do that. When you invite someone, it is an act of friendship. You cannot invite someone unless it is an act of what? Friendship. So from the very word da'wah, from the very word ud'u, if you are not friendly, you shouldn't be doing da'wah. If you have an angry personality, why don't you just go memorize Quran or something? Let somebody else do da'wah. If you get really frustrated with people, you should not be doing da'wah. Because da'wah means what? Invitation. And to do invitation, you have to be what? Friendly. Second, ud'u ila sabili rabbik. By the way, if somebody is giving an angry khutbah, and you say, why are you giving it? Brother, akhi, I'm trying to do da'wah. That's not how you do da'wah. You don't scare people to death and then invite them. This is not invitation. This is get lost and get out of here and never come back. He says, by the way, he doesn't say, Ud'u ila al-Islam, Ud'u ila dini rabbik. He doesn't say that. He says, Ud'u ila sabili rabbik. What does sabil mean? Let's see who wins this one. Oh, brothers won again. Ud'u ila sabili rabbik means invite to the path of your Rabb. Everybody knows what a path is, yes? Now, have you ever invited anybody to a path? That doesn't make sense. You don't invite someone to a road, you invite someone to a destination, right? You don't invite to a road, you invite to a destination. But Allah is telling us that you have to invite people to a what? A road. A sabil, a path is a road. A path is a road. Why did he? There's so much wisdom in this kalam. I hope I can explain this to you in ways you will remember, because this is one of the most powerful truths of Islam that is hidden. People don't know. People don't know. You know, people study Islam and they say, man, sisters are learning Quran. I don't know so much vocabulary. I haven't memorized so many surahs. I don't know tajweed yet. I don't know this yet. I don't know that yet. When I learn this much, inshallah, then it will be good. But right now, I don't know anything. People are always worried about more quantity. And they want to accomplish. And they keep thinking they haven't done anything yet. If Allah is calling people to a path, like a road, are people traveling at the same speed? No. Some people travel fast and some people travel what? Slow. Some people are traveling so slow that you can't even see their progress. It's that slow. It doesn't even show up on the speedometer. It's that slow. But they're still making progress. The problem is we like everybody to make progress at the same speed. You should be like this one, you should be like that one. Even parents, they tell one of your daughters can do better than the other one. Why don't you be like your sister? They're not the same. They're on their own path. You're asking Allah to join the road. That's all. You're asking people to join the road, not the destination. Allah is not calling you to the destination. He just wants you to enjoy the road. So many people come up to me, how do I learn Arabic quickly? How do I study the whole Quran quickly? I was like, why do you want to do it quickly? What's your hurry? You know, are you going to die soon or something? You got time, bro. Relax. Chill out. Allah is not interested in how much you know. Allah is interested whether or not you are on the road. And when you are on a road, How do you know if you're on a road, the scenery around you is changing? Yes or no? And you're making progress. All Allah wants from you is what? Progress. All Allah wants from you is progress. He does not want perfection from you. That's what people want from you. That's not what Allah wants from you. Allah knows what He created. He did not ask people to become perfect. He asked people to make progress. That's all He asked. Allah makes our deen easy and beautiful. We make our deen difficult and ugly. We make people feel bad because they're not perfect. We make people feel bad because they're not completely there yet. The Sahaba were the best generation, yes or no? Best generation of all time. Of all time. And these people were willing to die for Islam, yes or no? Okay, Allah gave them ayat about alcohol in 3 stages. These are people that are willing to die for Islam. And Allah said, "La taqrabu," "Ithmuhuma akbaru min naf'ihima." The evil in alcohol is greater than the benefit. The evil is more. Then that wasn't enough. Then later on He said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى حَتَّى تَعْلَمُوا مَا تَقُولُونَ. Don't go near salah while you're drunk. And then finally, one of the last surahs ever revealed, Surah Al-Ma'idah, one of the last surahs ever revealed, He says, رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ. This is evil from the work of the devil. Will you stop or what? In other words, Sahaba, who were the best generation, Allah did not expect them to quit alcohol immediately. If He wanted, He could have given the ayah from the very beginning. Now think about this even further. Alcohol is considered not just haram, it's also considered evil. There's a difference. Pigs are not evil. Pigs are just what? Haram. You don't see a pig and say, astaghfirullah, evil, shaitan. No, it's just a pig. Just don't eat it. Okay, it's a pig, Allah made it. It's not evil. Relax. Okay? But alcohol is not just haram, it is also what? Evil. Which means it was always evil. Which means it was always from the work of the shaitan. In the first year of revelation, it was from the work of shaitan. And in the 23rd year of revelation, it was also the work of shaitan. And even though it was always evil, Allah decided that people haven't made enough progress on the road yet. So they're not ready yet. So I'll give them the ayah when they're a little more ready. So I'll give them a little bit. And I'll tell them, look, the harm is more than the benefit. Then a little bit later, I'll say, at least don't be drunk when you're making salah. And a little bit later, I'll tell them, okay, leave it now. You're mature enough. Now stop. The best generation, Allah allowed them time to make progress on the road. And what do? If a drunk guy walked into the masjid today, he's had 2-3 beers, you can smell it from 10 feet away, and I want to pray. What are we going to do with him? We're going to beat him up and kick him out. And once you kick him out, where's he going to go? Back to the bar. He's going to go back to drinking. He came to the house of Allah. He took a step. He took such a big step. And you said, go back. This step is not good enough for us. You're not good enough for us. Allah wants you to make progress on the road. And you have to let other people make progress on the road. And maybe some of them will take their time, and some of them will move quickly. You know, Allah gave the example of growing things on the ground, right? There's a farmer. And by the way, some of you have these, so many. I think maybe in the last year, this question was repeated at least 1,000 times in my lectures. People came to me at least 1,000 times and asked this one question. Let me tell you what the question is. Brother, my husband doesn't pray. My son doesn't pray. My wife doesn't pray. My sister doesn't pray. My uncle doesn't pray. My father doesn't pray. How do I get them to pray? How do I change them? Tell me one thing I can say to them and they'll change. And I say, okay, hold on. I got nothing. There's a farmer, what's step 1 in farming? You put the seed in the ground, yes? You put the seed in, then you put water. Then you go to sleep. Then you wake up. Make sure the soil is clean. Then you put water again. Then you go to sleep. You wake up. You put water again. Remove the insects. Make dua. Ya Allah, take care of this plant. Does the farmer see any progress? Yes or no? He sees no progress. All the things that are happening under the ground. The farmer doesn't say, if there was one thing I could do, it could just change right now and turn into a tree. Let me dig it up, take the seed on, make a tree out of it. Does it work like that? Allah compared the Quran coming down to water coming down. And when water comes down, the life on the earth grows immediately or grows over time? It grows over time. When the Quran will enter somebody's heart, they will change immediately or change over time? They will change over time. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq changed immediately, but so many Sahaba changed over time. Umar bin al-Khattab, 5 years. It took some time. Abu Sufyan, many more years. It took a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. People only quote the example of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. By the way, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is an extremely amazing example. Even for the Sahaba, he's too high of an example. What about you? People quote the greatest example and make you feel bad. There are so many other Sahaba, hundreds of thousands of them, radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu, that did not transform the same way as Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. They took their time, and Allah is happy with them too. Allah is happy with them too. Call people with wisdom. Let them grow. Let them listen. Let them listen. I was giving a lecture in England. When I finished my lecture, a woman came up to me and said, please don't tell anyone, I'm Shia. I've been listening to your lectures for a year. It's really helped me a lot. Please don't tell anyone. You know why? Because it's Birmingham, England. Whew, that place is crazy. You know. Other guy comes up to me, brother, Assalamu alaikum. This is my wife, myself, and there's about 50 of our friends. We are from the Baha'i religion. We've been listening to your lectures for a long time. Please don't tell anyone. I'm like, yeah, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Sit, relax. I don't need to go after and start having debates with the Shia person or the Baha'i person or any other person for that matter. Why? Because my only concern is to get the water to the heart. That's all. The rest, who will do? The rest, Allah will do that. You're not going to do that. Allah will do that. That's up to Allah what He does. That's not up to me. We don't give people a chance. We're too busy arguing with them and debating with them and pushing them further away from Islam. This is not wisdom. This is just not wisdom. Call people to the path of your Rabb using wisdom. Bil hikmah. And then he says, وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Call people with beautiful, heart-penetrating advice. Give people advice that will go to their heart, that will get inside their heart. Now what does that mean? It could mean a lot of things, but I'm going to keep it brief for you guys. Simple lesson. Sometimes you say things that make someone angry. Sometimes you say things that they are willing to accept, and sometimes you say things that make them more upset and they don't want to listen to you. You have to find a way of saying things that will melt someone's heart, that will get inside their heart. They won't get defensive. Let me give you an example. You know the famous story of Hassan and Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhuma when he saw a man making wudu incorrectly. You remember the story? Right? He was making wudu incorrectly, so what did they do? They say, hey, you are such an old man. You should know better. Astaghfirullah, you don't even know how to make wudu? You should be ashamed of yourself. Let me show you how to make wudu. Did they do that? No. If they do that, the older gentleman might be very upset. I get really upset with them. What do they do instead? They just quietly make wudu next to him. And his heart melts. These young boys are taking their time making wudu. I should take my time making wudu. Yes or no? In other words, they used wisdom. And they used al-maw'idha al-hasana. Al-maw'idha al-hasana means you give advice in a way that softens somebody's heart. You don't give advice in a way that hardens somebody's heart. If they are in a mood to argue with you and fight with you, leave them alone. إِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When people get emotional, leave them alone. Don't need to argue. No need to debate. Da'wah is not the same as debates, people. I was giving da'wah to my cousin. We were arguing for 3 hours. You're not giving da'wah. I don't know what you're doing. Well, it's not da'wah. That's not da'wah. When people are getting silly, people are getting emotional, people are getting obnoxious, you just back off. Maybe another time. We'll talk again. It's okay. You don't have to convince people right away. And then there's those of you that say, man, I did my part. Now the matter is in the hands of Allah. Like this brother came to me, my brother, he doesn't pray, so I told him, if he doesn't pray, that he will burn in Jahannam. And I quoted the ayah to him, فَلَا صَدَّقَ وَلَا صَلَّى وَلَكِنْ كَذَّبَ وَتَوَلَّى. I quoted the ayat to him and he still didn't listen. Now I can tell Allah that I did my part. I said, if I wouldn't go to jail, I would have slapped you right now. What do you mean you did your part, you monkey? We follow the example of the prophets, alayhi salatu wassalam. Did they recite the ayat onto people one time and say, well, I did my part. Ya Allah, just take them out. Let the flood begin. It doesn't work like that. You give somebody advice, then you go back, then you go back, then you go back, then you go back, then you go back until you die. Until you die. And then some people come to me and say, but Nuh alayhi salam, eventually he gave up. I was like, okay, when you live 950 years, you give up too. Next time you quote Nuh alayhi salam, get a little bit older. Then you can tell me about Nuh alayhi salam. We don't use hikmah. We just don't use hikmah. We don't use al-maw'idah al-hasana. Good advice, sound advice. Make people feel better. I will tell you, maybe I'll get in trouble for saying this, and I don't care. I'll just tell you how I see it. One of the things that really hurt me when I came here? One of the things that really hurt me, really hurt me, is that people that are taxi drivers, all over the Gulf, I'm not talking about all over the Gulf, people that are taxi drivers, or people that are, servants, the cleaning crew in the hotels, people that are working in the stores, people that are cleaning the streets, we pass by them and we don't even say salam to them. We don't even say salam. These are just, and it hurts me, man. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Al-Kasibu Habibullah. Al-Kasibu Habibullah. The one who works hard to earn his money is the beloved of Allah. Allah loves the one who works hard to earn his money. The Pathan guy who's making naan all day, and his shalwar kameez is like brown, even though it's white, it's turned brown and gray. He worked all day, and he passes by, you're like, ye kaise log aa gaye? No, wait a second. Al-Kasib, Habibullah. At the very least, they deserve your salams. At the very least, they deserve your salams. And we've ingrained this idea that some people are better than others. There's no such thing in this religion. Every human being is equal. Every human being is equal. And especially the Muslims. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ مَاذَا؟ إِخْوَةً, not darajat. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. All believers are equal. This guy comes to me, he worked at the hotel, he recognized me. Sir, can I take a picture with you? And I was like, why are you calling me sir, bro? I'm your brother. Okay, sir. Sir, brother, can I take a picture with you? It's embedded in the mind that some people are better than them. That's not right. That's not right. People are dignified. This is religion. We stand in one row, yes or no? You don't check somebody's passport before you put them in the first row. You don't check, hey, how much money you make? Oh, you go fourth row. You don't do that. The salah itself teaches us that every human being is supposed to be treated equally. Your maw'idah hasana in this society and in so many Muslim societies. This is happening in Pakistan. This is happening. I'm not even picking on the Gulf, guys. I'm not even picking on. This is happening in Pakistan, Egypt, Bangladesh, India. You go there, some rich family goes and they go to a restaurant, and I saw it with my own eyes one time. They go to a restaurant and there's, the tinted windows and the kid rolls the automatic window down. He's like 12-year-old boy inside, rich boy, 12 years old. And the old man who comes to, Sir, chai ladu, sir? And the old man, 60-year-old man, and he says, ja leke aa. Go get it. Like he's talking to somebody like 5 years old or something. Ji main lekhe aata hu, sir. Ji. Man, if I wasn't going to get arrested, I would have taken that kid out of that shit. Come on, tamiz se baat karo. Bade. They're older. It's an older person. You treat them with respect. You treat them with respect. What's the point of memorizing Quran, studying the book of Allah, and you don't treat the janitor with respect, and the cleaner with respect, and the taxi driver with respect? You don't treat, what are you learning? Why are you learning this? What's the point? So we have to change our thinking. This is maw'idah hasana for you, to make people feel dignified in this society. Give them good counsel, speak to them like equals. Speak to them with respect. You know, every human being deserves respect. Every human being. And I told you today, it's not just the Muslims. Every human being should be treated with respect. Why in the world would they want to come close to Islam when they see us behave like this? What reason have we given them? People keep saying the problem of the ummah is the political problem. It's the economic problem. It's the social problem. It's the education. I say no. The problem of the ummah is the hikmah problem. It's the hikmah problem. It's the maw'idah hasana problem. That's the real problem we have. And there, by the way, in da'wah, that doesn't mean you're always soft. This is the wisdom of Allah. Everything is balanced. You're not always soft. Sometimes people attack you. Sometimes people make fun of you. Sometimes people insult your Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When that happens, this is not the time to be soft. This is the time to be tough. And so what does he say? Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal maw'idhatil hasana wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan. And debate with them, argue with them, take them head on with something that is better. With what is better. If they argue, you argue with something better. If they use anger, you use calmness. If they use dirty words, you only use clean words. Because every time you respond, it should be with something what? Something better. It should be with something better. What happens when they insult our Prophet? What happens to us? You have these comments on these YouTube videos by Muslims. Oh, we hate you kuffar and we're going to kill you, and you people are for the sake of Allah, this guy's cursing them out. Where's billati here? What is wrong with you? Stop trolling on YouTube videos. Nobody cares about your comments on YouTube. Nobody cares. We have to become people that speak maturely. The thing about the Muslims is we are an intellectual people. We are an intelligent people. We are a smart people. We are not emotional people. Right now the world thinks of us as emotional people. And that's our fault, because we haven't learned from the book of Allah how to respond intellectually. We only learn how to respond emotionally. We have to raise our status. وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Now at the end of all of this, all of the calling people with wisdom, helping somebody, giving somebody advice, you know what happens? There's a really big problem. When I give somebody advice, sometimes there's a problem. I think I'm better than them. I think I'm better than them. They need my advice. And this is a problem, especially if you get used to giving advice. Then you start thinking you're way better than everybody else. Listen, I have this mic over here and these like 18 camera guys over here putting the camera on my direction. But you know what? None of this means anything. I am not better than you. And you're not better than me. And who is better than who? Only Allah knows. Only Allah knows. This is not a superiority thing. It's not. It can't be. And so what does Allah say? إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Your Rabb, He is the only one who knows who is misguided, misled from the path. Allah knows better if I am misguided or you're misguided. I don't even know if I'm truly guided. I don't even know that. Before I think about guiding you, I need to know Allah is the only one who knows where I stand, what my real position is. So I have to be humble to Allah. Before I even give somebody else advice, I don't say, SubhanAllah, these people are so misguided, I have to help them. Wait, hold on a second. I don't even know where I stand. And second of all, when you're giving someone advice and they're not listening to you, they're not changing the way you like them to change, they're not transforming, this does not mean that they are misguided. Maybe some seed is growing and you don't know. Allah knows what's happening inside. We only know what is happening where? Outside. And we get frustrated by the outside. And we pay no attention to what's happening on the inside. This is my last comment to all of you. This is what I want to conclude with, because this is one of the most important problems we're going through in the ummah today. This ummah today, one of its biggest problems is a lack of wisdom, and the lack of wisdom shows when we are only concerned with the outside and not concerned with the inside, even within Islam. Even within Islam. A good boy is a boy who memorized the entire Quran. That's on the outside. A good person is someone who has a lot of ilm. That's on the outside. That's not on the inside. You could have a lot of ilm and still be a terrible human being. Is it possible? You could still be a hafiz of Quran and care nothing about Allah and His Messenger. Is that possible? Yeah. Making somebody a hafiz does not make them a good person. Hifz is important. My kids do hifz too. But hifz is only one small part of the equation. We have to fix what is on the inside. That is really, really important. More important than anything else. Anything else. People say you have to have, until you have a lot of ilm, you are not worth anything to Allah. I say, I don't know what Quran you are reading, but it's not the book I learned from. It's not the book I learned from. You know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reciting Quran and some jinn passed by. You know the story? He was reciting Quran and jinn passed by. And the jinn heard the Quran. وَإِذْ صَرَفْنَا إِلَيْكَ نَفَرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقُرْآنَ فَلَمَّا حَضَرُوهُ قَالُوا أَنْصِتُوا فَلَمَّا قُضِيَ وَلَّوْا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِمْ مُنذِرِينَ. A group of them passed by, Allah made them pass by, and when they heard the Quran, they said, shh, what is that? And when the whole recitation was done, they went back to their nation and they started giving them da'wah. How long did the jinn listen to Quran? A few minutes? Did they get a degree in tafsir? Did they get a degree? Where did they get the ijazah and tajweed from? Where did these jinn who learned Quran for how long? How long? Few minutes. And then what happened next? They went back to their nation and started inviting their nation to the book of Allah. And their da'wah was so beautiful that Allah made it part of the Quran. It's in the Quran that we learn their speech. Are these jinns ulama? Are these jinns fuqaha? No. These are regular jinn, regular people in their own species. But you know what makes them amazing to Allah? Their sincerity. Their sincerity. We like to make the religion complicated. Allah makes the deen of Allah easy, simple, beautiful. So much so that even a jinn can understand it. And they don't even have a PhD. They can understand it. We like to complicate things. We like to teach everything about Islam in a complicated way. And Allah likes to teach it in a simple way. That is the wisdom of Allah, keeping things simple. We complicate things. Somebody recites Quran and we say, where'd you get ijazah from? Which is it Hafs? Is Hafs and Asim? Is it Warsh? Oh no, your qalqala needs to be longer. Your mud needs to be this. You're going to spend 3 years doing tajweed and nothing else. You make things, this was never the case in the past, by the way. Never the case. We like complicating things. We become obsessive compulsive about something. Allah doesn't do that. Allah keeps things simple, easy. Somebody says, I'm a Muslim. Oh yeah, you're a Muslim? What's your aqidah? That I'm a Muslim. No, but what do you believe? La ilaha illallah. No. But which aqidah book did you read? I didn't read an aqidah book. I just know that Allah is one. No, akhi, you have to study aqidah. You have to go in depth. You have to go so in depth. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's take a step back. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Listen to his speech in the Quran. Is it complicated or simple? It's simple. What do we like to do? Complicate even the simplest thing. We love it. We love complicated. And I'm not saying don't study aqidah. For the tullabul ilm that are going to be mutamayyiz, that are going to be advanced students, go study it. But for the rest of the people, please leave them alone. Keep things simple. Because Ibrahim alayhi salam kept things simple. Salih alayhi salam kept things simple. Isa alayhi salam kept things simple. They were the best teachers Allah could ever choose. They were the best of all teachers, these prophets alayhi salatu wasalam. And the best of their speeches made it into the Quran. You're not going to come up with a better way of teaching people iman than the book of Allah. It's not going to happen. And Allah makes things easy, we make things difficult. Wallahi, we do that. We are hard on people, Allah is easy on people. This idea that I share with you at the end, how we don't have this balance anymore in the way we present Islam, it's made things so hard for the Muslims. So many Muslims think they're disobeying Allah and everything. and that Allah is just going to punish them. Allah is always angry with them. And Allah Himself says, مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ. What is Allah going to get out of punishing you? Allah doesn't want to punish you. We have to spread the rahmah of this deen again, the rahmah of this book again. This rain has to fall again. Rain itself is a rahmah from Allah, yes or no? Yes. So the Quran is a rahmah from Allah, yes or no? Last point. Let me show you how Quran is a rahmah from Allah. I was just talking about Surah Al-Rahman in Qatar. I'll share one thing with you. Just one thing. Think about this as you leave today. In Surah Al-Rahman, it begins Ar-Rahman, which is such a beautiful name of Allah, right? The name of Allah that has love, the name of Allah that has care, the name of Allah that is tied to the word Rahm. What a beautiful name of Allah. This girl came to me in Boston. She said, I left Islam. She said, I left Islam. I said, why did you leave Islam? And she said, because of Surah Al-Rahman. I said, why? What did Surah Al-Rahman do to you? She says, in Surah Al-Rahman, Allah begins with Ar-Rahman, that He's so loving and caring and merciful. And in the middle of the surah, He starts talking about hell and how people are going to burn and how people are going to be tortured. How can Allah that is so full of love and rahmah torture people? How could He do that? And I had a long conversation with her, but I'll just share one thing with you. The description of Jahannam in Surah Al-Rahman is one of the most terrible descriptions in the whole Quran. The following description is rated R for graphic words and seriously scary content. You will listen to those words when people are being boiled alive, and then when they're being boiled, they look at the fire on the other side and say maybe the fire is better. So they leave the boiling water and they run towards the fire. The fire burns them so hot, they can see the boiling water. They say, no, I should go towards the boiling water instead. Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible description of what is going to happen in Jahannam. And does it scare you, by the way? Does that scare you at all? Because it scares me. And as soon as you get scared, what does He say? وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّتَانِ. Whoever got scared of standing in front of his Rabb, he gets 2 Jannahs. The whole point of scaring you was to guarantee you Jannah. That's the whole point. He scared you and said, did you get scared? Okay, then you get 2 Jannahs. SubhanAllah. Even when He scares you, He gives you something good. This is what Allah does. We don't do that. We like to only scare people. We only like to be negative with people. This is a depressing time for the ummah. It is in need of a positive message. And there is no more a positive message than the book of Allah that begins with Alhamdulillah. The words Alhamdulillah, when that means that we are grateful to Allah and we are appreciative of Allah for everything. No matter how bad things are, we will stay positive, because every single salah, we begin with what? Alhamdulillah. That means we have to be positive people. We cannot be depressed people and negative people and angry people and judgmental people. We have to be grateful and positive people. This is the message of Allah's book. This is the wisdom that we have to internalize. I pray that Allah Azza wa Jal gives you the strength to benefit and be of benefit to others through the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's book. And I pray that Allah Azza wa Jal gives all of us the ability to become examples for what this book is supposed to represent, for the beautiful legacy of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Lastly, I want to just give you an announcement, and I'm done for the evening, inshallah ta'ala. The announcement that I'd like to make to you is for those of you that are interested in learning the Quran with me. I can't come to Dubai often. I can't come to the Khalij often. I miss my children too much. And I have a lot of kids. I have 6. That's a lot. I know for some of you are like, I have 12. No, but you know, for me that's a lot, okay? For me, in America, that's a lot. When we go to the park like that, all of them are your kids? Like, that's my kids, ma'am. You got a whole tribe out there. I'm like, yes, I do, my friend. You know. So I miss my kids. I gotta stay home. I want to do work from home. But that doesn't mean I can't try to benefit you. If you're benefiting from the work that I'm doing, that's because most of what you saw me do wasn't here. It was me sitting in Texas trying to get to you. That's what I'm trying to do. There are 2, for the young people here especially, I recommend 2 courses. If you can study 2 courses from me, it'll give you a good start in your journey in the Quran, okay? Just 2 courses. The first course is called Divine Speech. It's not on YouTube. On YouTube, there's just a video about it or 2, but the full course is called Divine Speech. And the second course is called Quran for Young Adults. What was the first course? Good. What was the second course? Quran for Young Adults. I recommend these 2 courses, especially for younger audiences, families. If your kids are like 10, 12 years old, they can start both of those courses. Do it as a family. It'll give you a good and solid introduction to the Quran before you get into a study of the Quran, inshallah ta'ala. Because you need a little bit of an intro before you get in, you know? So that's the purpose of Divine Speech and Quran for Young Adults. I'll tell you a little bit of what I do in Divine Speech. People ask the question, how come Allah uses we in the Quran? People ask the question, how come there are different kinds of surahs in the Quran in different order? People ask the question, how come subjects keep changing in the Quran? When they ask these kinds of questions, I took all of those questions and tried to answer every one of them so you have a better understanding of the kind of book you're dealing with when you're dealing with the Quran so you can appreciate it better. Both of these courses are available online. You can go to Bayyina. If you don't know how to spell Bayyina, make istighfar 2 rak'ah and slaughter a camel, okay? Go to bayyina.tv and you can access these courses, inshallah ta'ala. Bayyina.tv.